crossing the line.
At the moment, Pennsbury scored in second. We'll follow up on that later. But Palmyra wins a fantastic AAA girls 4x8. On to AA boys now. South Williamsport had the best time in prelims yesterday. This entire field of 12 did not place last year. Anvil, Cleona, Lakeview, Wyomissing, Trinity, Lakeland, Southern Columbia, Northeast Bradford. That team, Northeast Bradford, the single A team champions in cross country. Other 4 teams in the field: Northern, Potter, Masterman, Mount Carmel, and last year's team champions, Hickory. Having a much better year on the track this year.
Dominant in the field last year, but they've got some runners this year. We start off again in our 4x8. They're in that 2-alleyway 100-meter area. They'll all come together at the end of 100 meters, close down to the rail. And your objective here is to see where you are so that you don't come across and hit the back leg of somebody and interfere with them.
I can't see because his bib is obstructed, but I think that might be Kurt Jewett running lead for Northeast Bradford. Outstanding cross-country runner who was DQ'd out of the open mile yesterday. But I cannot confirm that because his bib has flown up in his face. Regardless, through lap 1, Northeast Bradford, and the pass is made on the outside. That is Anvil Cleona in the red in the lead.
You come through in 58. That's a good opening leg of a 4x8. Anvil in the red.
Yeah, Anvil Cleona is a team that's had a really, really nice year. Out of District 3, they have a lot of runners here at the state meet this year. South Williamsport taking a wide path on the outside to pull into the top 5.
Yeah, Anvil's in the 1632 and the 4x8, 4x4.
Approaching the first exchange zone. Anvil Cleona in the lead.
And is that Trinity? You said that next.
I believe it is, although I cannot confirm that. But those are two.
That's Trinity.
Those are 2 District 3 rivals, and yes, Trinity passes off in first, Anvil Cleona in second. And I do apologize, the runners are not wearing hip tags in these opening segments of the relay, so it is a little bit difficult to identify exactly who we're watching here, but that's definitely Trinity and Anvil Cleona, the top 2 teams, and they've separated by about 5 yards.
Only the last runner will have the FAT hip number, the adhesive number on their chest and in their hips, so they can identify them in the picture should they need to.
And again, if you're just joining us, that backstretch has forced those runners into a pretty nasty headwind once again today. Same was the case on Friday. It's sunny today, Saturday, as we're watching it, but that stiff breeze coming into their faces has not made matters easy on the distance runners at all in the backstretch. So Anvil Cleona is stride for stride with Trinity, and Masterman has moved into third. 5 laps to go here in the AA boys 4x8. So Anvil Cleona and Trinity, the margin is about 5 yards. And then another 2 yards back to Masterman at third. Anvil Cleona did not make the final last year in the 4x8. Trinity did not make the final either, although they did make prelims last year. Masterman has made prelims 2 of the last 3 years. But again, none of the 12 teams here in this heat placed in the 4x8 last season here at the state meet. Anvil Cleona really opening it up here. But Masterman moving into second at the halfway exchange point. We're going to be right around 4:02, 4:03 as the baton is passed. 4:04.
So there, the second runner really made a difference for Anvil Cleona. Now we're seeing the runners close a slight bit, but it's pretty much status quo there. Now we're coming down the backstretch. You got to be careful where you run, because if you accidentally step on that rail, that would be something that would really hamper you. You could roll an ankle. So you can see that they're clearly about a foot out, which is actually where the track is measured for its 400 meters.
Yeah, and how many nasty injuries have we seen over the years with that happening? So Anvil Cleona continuing to lead Trinity and Masterman. Those are the top 3 seeds. 3 laps to go here in the AA boys 4x8. I promise we will have sprints coming up later on today. The 100 meters, the 100 and 110 hurdles, the 200 meters much later today. They put these long distance events up front here on the schedule. But after the conclusion of the 4x8, we got the much shorter events.
Actually, why Mark Heckel and you were going over the field events, the semifinals for the 100 and the 110 hurdles were being run. And then we'll get to the finals afternoon.
Still Anvil Cleona in front, and their margin is a good 30 yards now over their District 3 rival Trinity. So this has been a really nice effort for Anvil Cleona. Two laps to go as we come to this exchange zone.
Well, they've opened up quite a lead. That's an extra 25 meters over the second runner. And here's Sean Wolf of Anvil Cleona finishing. And he's looking great. Other runners, they'll look at that stride, look at that open lead. That's a good shot of how far ahead they are. They're nearly 75 meters ahead now.
Much as was the case with Sarah Sargent earlier, Sean Wolf is not running the open mile. So many of these teams have had the luxury of outstanding top caliber distance runners who are not in individual races being able to run anchor for their teams. And you can see what Sean Wolf has done here. This is perhaps insurmountable lead now with 1 lap to go. It's almost half the entire front stretch between Wolf and the next closest pursuer.
That's clearly about 80 meters. That's amazing.
And that's the battle for second behind them. They're just crossing the start line now.
Well, we're going to have a great battle for second. We have 5 teams within 20 meters. And it's clearly Anvil Cleona leading.
Can they go sub 8 minutes? That's the next question now for Anvil Cleona. Quaker Valley won it last year in a 7:53.26.
Well, if he runs under 30 seconds, he'll definitely make that.
You're looking back at the battle for second, but Sean Wolf is already on the front stretch. So Anvil Cleona, they're going to take gold here in the AA boys 4x8 with Sean Wolf bringing it home for them. Only question now, what will be the winning time?
He's running hard, but he's definitely shut down a little.
He got there in 8:03 though.
8:03.
And now here's that close battle for second we were talking about. And I believe it is Lakeland who got in there in second. 8:03.25, the official winning time for Anvil Cleona. Why I'm missing, I beg your pardon, was the second place finisher, but a full 8 seconds behind. Trinity was third.
So definitely yesterday's weather took a lot out of these 800 runners to qualify, just to qualify. Because you could see people looked a little tired there today in running those 8:15 times.